Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about design of water tank. So you all know about water tank. Water tanks are nothing but which are used to store water. So there can be many different types of water tank. They, depending upon the material used, it may be concrete water tank or RCC water tank. It might be of steel water tank, right? Or sometimes it might be pre-stressed water tank, etc. As well as depending upon the position or the location of the water tank, it can be ground water tank, then elevated water tank, etc. This kind of or underground water tank. This kind of water tanks can be found. Okay, so for this class, we were going to discuss about how to calculate the load as well as design a particular type of a water tank. So for our problem, we are going to take a RCC water tank. So there are different problems you might get, because depending upon the type of the water tank, the design approach will be a little bit different. So for this purpose, we have considered one problem. So our problem statement is like this: a rectangular water tank of 10 meter into 10 meter in plan and is 5 meter deep. So we have a water tank which the dimensions are 10 meter by 10 meter. So this is the water tank. So we have this dimension is as 10 meter, as well as this dimension is as 10 meter, and the depth is 5 meter. Okay, so this is the dimension of the water tank. It rests above the ground, so it is on just resting over the ground, and its walls hinged at the base and free at the top. The walls are hinged at the base and free at the top. There is nothing at the top. Determine the maximum bending moment and shear force for design using tables in part 4 of IS 3370. So one thing that I should tell you before going into detail of this particular problem, that the Indian standard code, those are available for designing of liquid retaining structure, are IS 3370. These are revised in 2009, part 1 and part 2. And also there are two another parts are there, part 3 and part 4. Part 4 is used for calculation of the moment and shear forces for rectangular and circular water tank. So for this particular problem, we are going to use part 4 of IS 3370, and that will be used to see how to find out or how to calculate the moments in the shear force as well. Now, one specific term that we have got here is the walls are hinged at the base and free at the top. Okay, so it is something, if the walls are monolithically casted with the base slab, then in that case, suppose this is the base slab, and these are the walls. If these are monolithically casted, then it becomes a rigid, so it becomes fixed. Okay, and in other cases this might not be fixed. Okay, so let's see how it looks like. So I have given one simple drawing over here. See this one here, this is a base, and we have a neoprene or rubber pad and over which your wall is resting. So this is not monolithically casted, these are just the wall is just placed over the base, and some sealant materials are used so that the water doesn't leak out. So this kind of design is hinged. So it is also called flexible base. Okay, these are hinged kind of or flexible base. Then similarly you can see over here this one, some sealing compound as well as the reinforcement are put inside. So at a making a joint at a point so that it behaves like a hinge, this one. And this is the example of a hinged joint wall with the fixed base, as well as certain there are some examples where the base and as well as the walls are monolithically casted. So this is an example of fixed base, okay, where both the reinforcement are combined together and casted monolithically. So this is an example of fixed base. So our problem that we have considered is it talked about the hinged. So you just think or you just assume it to be something like this, where you can see that the wall is just resting over the base and it is not fixed, okay, it is just a hinged, it is a hinge structure, okay. Now let's go in detail of the problem. So before going into this, so let's look into how the IS-3370 part 4 looks like. So I have just given a snap of this code. So I'd request you all to download the IS-3370 from all the parts, that is from part 1 to part 4, and look into those codes. So this is an example of a snapshot of IS-3370 part 4, okay, 1960 67 1967, yes. So this is a table for moment coefficient for tanks with walls free at the top and hinge at the bottom. So you will find different tables with different conditions, like walls fixed at the bottom and free at the top, or hinge at both the ends, like this. So as our question asks for the condition where our walls are hinged at the bottom and free at the top, hinge at the bottom and free at the top. So for our case, table 5 is appropriate. So I have given only this table 5 of the IS-3370, which is for us we can find out the moment coefficients for this particular water tank, where the walls are free at the top and hinge at the bottom. Now in this particular code, so there are certain symbols they use. So where A is the height of the wall, okay. Suppose this is the water tank, these are the water tank. Now what they do, you take the midpoint of this, okay, this is the midpoint, then take it as origin, and the downward direction we assume it is x direction, along the longer direction we assume y, and along the shorter direction we assume z. Remember, along the downward direction we assume x, along the longer direction, this is the longer direction, we assume y, and along the shorter direction we assume z. And the dimensions of this water tank, the depth is represented by a, the longer side is represented by the b, this is the, that means as this is y or longer side, so this will be represented by b, and the shorter side is represented by c. C is represented by the shorter side, okay. And where is the origin? Origin at the midpoint of the whole water tank, okay, this is the origin. So from here to here, this location, if you see this distance is from here to here, it is c by 2, okay. And if you see it from here to here, this is b by 2, like this, okay. So like this actually the whole table is being formed. So you just take care of this particular notation for while looking into this particular table. Now let's go into our problem. So what our problem tells us, so the height of the water tank is given as 5 meters, right? And the length of the water tank B is given as 10, as well as the width, both are same, so it is C is equal to 10 meters. So B and C are 10 meter, 10 meter, and A is 5 meter. Now if you see, to find out the moment coefficients, what are the ratios that are required? Okay, if you see over here, the first ratio that we need C by A, then the next ratio we need X by A, then we need B by A. These three ratios are important. Okay, X by A, basically the depth, it represents the depth. So for the basically only two ratios are required. So these are C by A and B by A. So for this purpose, let's find out what is C by A and B by A for our problem. So this is C by A is equal to 2, C is equal to 10 meter, A is equal to 5, so it will be 2, and B by A is equal to 2. Okay, so looking at these two values, you can go into the required table. So B by A is 2, so for us, this is the table where B by A is equal to 2 and C by A is equal to 2. Now X by A represents the depth ratio. The depth for different ratios of depth or different depth, what are the moments coefficient? Then mx is the moment coefficient along the x direction, that is vertical. Mx is vertical and my is horizontal. Okay, my is the horizontal or along the longer side. If you look closely, for y is equal to 0, what does it mean? Y is equal to 0 means we know that we can calculate the origin is at the center, right? So y is equal to, this is y, this is z, this is x. So y is 0 means at the center of the water tank. Y is 0 means at the midpoint. Y is b by 4, b by 4 means here, somewhere at the mid of this, and b by 2 means here. This is the b by 2 location, because if this is b, if whole length is b, then this half of, then as it's the center, origin is the center, so this is b by 2 and b by 2. So b by 4 means this location, b by 2 means this location, b by 2. So, and for z is equal to c by 4, z is equal to 0, these are z is equal to 0 means this location, and z is equal to c by 4, that means this location. Okay, and if you see carefully, for y is equal to 0 and z is equal to 0, values are same. Y is equal to 0 and z is equal to 0, the values are same for different depth, as well as for my and mx, both values are same, as well as b by 4 and c by 4, the values are same. And if you see, there are some plus sign and minus sign. The negative sign indicate the tension inside the tank. That means if you have a water tank and due to water, the walls of the water tank will deflect, something like this. That means here tension is at outside, compression at the inside, and at the end tension will be inside and compression at the outside, right? So whenever there is negative sign, that means tension is inside. That means at the end, this kind of condition where tension is inside. So if you see b is equal to y is equal to b by 2, that means at the end, b by 2 means at the end, right? So at the end, we are getting negative value. That means we are getting something, this kind of moment where tension is at the inside. And at the other cases, we are getting positive because tensions are outside. So that is why here it is positive, here it is negative. Okay. So these are the values we need. So, and also the calculation of the moment can be done. The equation is already given here. See, the horizontal moment can be found out by my w a cube, and vertical moment can be found out mx w a cube. So these are the two equations to find out the moments. So we will use this equation. Now, as c by a is equal to 2 and b by is equal to 2 is we have got, so we can find out the moment. And what is w? Basically w is the unit weight or density of the water. Okay, now let's calculate the moments. Okay, before going to the moment, there is another thing that we need to know, that is the shear. Okay, just first find out the tables, then we will calculate the moment as well as shear simultaneously. So for the shear, why shear is important? Now look at the water tank, a rectangular water tank. So here water pressure will act from all the sides, right? Water pressure will act from all the sides, and because of which obviously there will be certain moments, there will be deflection of the walls, that already just now I have shown you. There will be deflection of the walls, right? That is okay. Deflection, that is moment. Deflection because moment is there, fine. But there is another thing that you need to consider, that is when these walls are being pushed away from each other, so there is a tension that is developed over this because of this pushing force, or the pushing force of water over these two adjacent walls. There will be tension on this wall. There is tension because, so that means this wall has a combined effect of moment as well as tension. This tension is also equal to the shear force over here, because this moment or this load will give rise to a shear force over here, over this wall, right? This will give you shear force. This wall, when there is a load, there a shear force will develop over here, and that shear force is actually the tension that is acting to the adjacent wall. So this shear force, why we are calculating, to find out the tension at the other wall, that is to the adjacent wall. Okay. Now, where is the tension will be maximum? Because these two walls having a larger side, suppose these are the larger side, then the forces will be maximum, shear will be maximum. So tension will be maximum at the shorter walls. Okay, fine. So as we have the case of a square water tank, so no need to consider about this. The B and C both are same, so we do not have any problem here. But if B and C are not same, we have to calculate separately the shear forces and moments separately for both longer and the shorter sides. Now let's look into the shear force, how to find out the shear force coefficient. So you can find out table 8 in the same IS 3370 part 4. In that case, this is the shear at the edge of the wall panel, free at the top and hinge at the bottom. This is the condition of our uh, problem. So this particular table you will look into. So here the midpoint of the bottom edge, these are the values where for different b by a values. So our b by a value is 2. So you can find out different shear forces at different location. So for our the important thing is this one, top of the fixed side, this is 0.1 W a square. Midpoint of the fixed side edge, fixed side is, you look at this figure, this is actually the elevation. Okay, this is actually the elevation of this. So as these are fixed, this is hinge, this is free, these are mentioned over here. So midpoint of the fixed side edge, so this is the midpoint of the fixed side edge. So what is the shear force over here? This is given by 0.375 W a square. Okay, and lower third point is given by 0.406 W a square. Okay, so like this you can find out what are the stresses. You just put the value of W is nothing but the density or the specific weight of water, as well as A is the dimension or the depth of the water tank that you can find out. So these values can find out, the shear force can be calculated. So, and this shear force will in turn give you the tension in the adjacent wall. Now let's calculate the forces. Now at the mid height, that is x is equal to a by 2, a is the height, so x is equal to a by 2 of the wall, and the end of the long slab is y is equal to b by 2, because you can see that any water tank, when which is free at the top, the maximum deflection that, or the maximum moment that we are getting at the end, okay, which is a ratio, and at the midpoint at the midpoint, because water pressure distribution, you know, it's a triangular, so maximum or the effective stress you can is always assumed to be at the midpoint. So that is why the most critical forces for this particular problem will be at the midpoint and at the end of the water tank. So that is why we are calculating at the end and at the mid depth of the water tank. So that means at x is equal to a by 2 and y is equal to b by 2. B by 2, that means at the end of the long wall. So my is equal to minus 0.087. You can find out this value in the table. Here for y is equal to b by 2, for my this is the value, this is for half, that is a by 2, it is minus 0.089. So, and what is the maximum value of mx? Mx maximum value you can see here, for different values we have 0.0036, which is maximum. So this maximum value of mx we are going to take, that is in the this is the moment along the vertical direction, and this is moment along the horizontal direction. Okay, so you can see the moment, the horizontal moment, it is minus 0.089 WAQ, which in terms will give you minus 1.09.136 kilonewton meter per meter, because this is a moment per unit meter, moment per unit meter. As similarly, we can find out the shear forces. P is equal to 0.375 WA square, which will give you 91.969 kilonewton meter. This 0.375, this value you can find out from the shear force table. Here b by is equal to 2, and for the mid height it is 0.375. Okay, so 0.375 WA square, which will give you 91.969 kilonewton per meter, because all the moments and shear forces are per unit meter. So maximum shear and the moment, maximum shear you can find out, which is equal to 0.406. You can just find out in the table, which is at the lower third point. This is 0.406, and it comes out to be 99.572 kilonewton per meter. And this too will actually generally govern the thickness of the long walls, because as I have already told you that the moment as well as the shear force is critical at the midpoint and at the end of the wall. That is why this moment and shear force is the governing criteria, will be the governing criteria for designing of the long walls. And calculation of the vertical moment, just now I have already shown you that the mx value, the maximum mx value is 0.036, right? So you can find out from the table into WAQ, you can find out the value as 44.145 kilonewton meter per meter. Okay, so this is the maximum vertical moment. Now with like this, you can calculate the moments for moments as well as the shear forces or the tension in the water tank or in a rectangular water tank using IS-3370 part 4. The IS-3370 part 4 also deals with circular water tank also. So now let us try to design the one particular wall of this particular water tank. As we have already understood that at the mid height and at the end of the wall, we have the moment and the shear force, which are the governing criteria for the design of the walls of the water tank. So at this location, we have moment as 190 kilonewton meter per meter, and the shear forces as 90 kilonewton per meter. As well as, let us assume that FCK is 25 MPa, Fy is 415, and let us design it as per IS-3370 using limit state method. Sorry, not limit state, it will be using the working stress method, WSM method. the design will be WSM method. So I think you already know about why we are going to design it as WSM method. As in LSM, we always assume that it's a crack section, and in WSM, as it's an elastic method, so cracks can be avoided easily using while designing as per WSM method. And you can find out while following the IS-3370, the WSM method is found to be more convenient over the LSM method. Now let's look into the detail of this particular problem. Now let us assume that the thickness of the wall is h is equal is the thickness of the wall, which is given by 650 mm. That is, the thickness of the wall is 650 mm, and the diameter of the bars that we have assumed is 12 mm, and the clear cover, let us assume it to be 40 mm. So what is the effective depth? Effective depth is equal to h minus 5 minus cc, which will give you 598 mm. And the lever arm, what is the lever arm, or the location? Actually, I should say it is the location of the bars from the center, from center, location of the bars from the center, which is given by d minus h by 2, which is equal to 0.273 mm. This is the location of the bar from the center of the section, which is 0.273 meter. Now let's find out the eccentricity. Eccentricity will tells you whether there is the bending is dominant over the section or not. As the moment we have already got is 109 kilometer meter per meter, as well as the normal force or the shear force which is we have calculated, but I have already told you that this will act as a normal force or a tension, which is 92 kilometer meter. Now what will be the eccentricity of this two if I combine both this? So E will be my by n, and that will be equal to 1.108 into 10 to the power 3 mm. So as it can be found that this eccentricity is far more than the lever arm or the position of the steel from the neutral axis or from the center of the section. So a bending is prominent over this section, as this E value is found to be very high. Now let's calculate the steel along the length of the walls, because this moment is a horizontal moment. This is the deflection pattern of the wall, so the reinforcement are also going to be in this direction, okay, along the length of the section. Now the ms, the resultant or moment, you can say, this will be my minus nx. Why that is so? Now you can see that at the end, the section is having a moment, and which is trying to bend the particular section, right? Which is trying to bend the particular section. So let me draw a clear figure of this. Suppose I have a beam, and suppose we have applied a moment over here like this. So in that case, it will deflect like this, right? But if along with the moment a tension force is applied, then what will happen? This tension force will eventually resist a certain portion of the moment that is being applied, and the deflection will be less, because if this moment is being applied and this will try to rotate this particular structure, right? So, and the what will be the lever arm? The lever arm is the x, or a distance of the reinforcement from the top, from the center of the section is x. So this moment is acting in the opposite direction of the applied moment. So whenever there is a tension along with the moment, then uh, the tension will try to reduce the effect of the moment. That is also very, you can see in physical world also. If you have a, suppose a rope which is which you have which you have tied with the two poles, and you see that if you have cloths or something over the pole, then it will sag, right? So to reduce the sag, what you can do, you can just pull these two poles so that you can give attention to the wire so that it reduces the deflection or it reduces the moment, right? The similar effect will occur at this particular wall. So here, what is the resultant moment after reducing because of the tension that is in the wall will be my minus nx, and which in turn will give you 83.884, as well as the fy value and fck values are also mentioned. And b is, suppose, let us, for design purpose, let us assume that only a 1 meter section of the wall, that is 1000 mm. Now, if you refer to the code IS 3370 part 2, which is for part 2, which is, it is revised in 2009. This is for RCC water tank. In that case, it has been mentioned that the crack weight of reinforcement, because the thing is we do not want to have crack in the RCC water tank. So to ignore that, to resist that crack weight of the reinforced concrete member in direct tension, the flexural tension may be deemed to be satisfactory if the steel stresses under service condition does not exceed 115 Newton per mm square. For plain bars, if the stresses in steel is under 115 Newton per mm square, then we can assume that the cracks has not been developed, and if it is below 130 for a high steel strength deformed bars, then we can assume that cracks are not developed in the concrete. Okay, so this criteria is very important because this criteria will govern our design. So let's see here the permissible stress in concrete. So this is in the table 2. So these are also you can find out in IS 3370 part 2. So the table 2 says you that what are the different bending stresses, and definitely these are as per WSM. So sigma CBC value and sigma CC value for different grade of concrete. This is for M25, it is 8.5 MPa, and for sigma CC it is 6 MPa. What is sigma CBC? This is the compressive stress of concrete, permissible compressive stress of concrete during bending, and this is direct compression. So these values are important. We will take these values as well as some other tables you can find in IS 3370. These are permissible stress in steel, which is for tensile strength in member under direct tension and bending, which is 130. For high strength deformer is 130. So sigma CBC value from table 2 we can find out to be 8.5 MPa, as well as sigma ST from table 4 we can find out to be 130 MPa. So if you find out ms by bd square, it will give you 0.253 Newton per mm square per meter. Okay, you just ignore this per meter because every calculation we are doing is actually for per meter length of the section. So this is we have calculated. So we will be using this value mu by bd square. So let's see how to use this. So I think you have already know about the use of IS SP16. So if you go into the XP16 and you go to table 17, for working stress method, you can find out the flexile moment of resistance factor MUBD square Newton per mm square for singly reinforced section. So you can find out the percentage of steel for different values of mu by bd square. So for our problem, the mu by bd square value is 0.235, right? So if you go to this table, so for 0. For mu by bd square value is 0. Mu by bd square value is 0.235. For M30 we can have PTS 0.2. right? So for because this is a sigma st, sigma is M30, and mu by this is 0.235. So or for 0.244 we can have 0.pt is equal to 0.2. So but as our structure is of very important, as it is a water rating structure, so let us assume that the pt value is 0.24. Okay, let us assume that pt value is 0.24. So assuming pt value as 0.24, you can find out what is the steel required. Steel required will be pt into b into d. We have already said that b is 1000 and d is the effective depth, and which will give you 1.435 into 10 to the power 3 mm square per meter of steel. Then there is additional steel are required because of the normal stress. Normal stress by sigma st, that will give you 707 into 0.7 mm square per meter. This is the, see, this is the steel for bending or ms, for ms value, and this is the steel for, this is the steel for direct tension. Okay, because we have defined that ms is equal to m minus tx. Okay, whatever moment is there we have subtracted by the tension moment, whatever will develop due because of the tension force, so what then we will get ms. For ms we have find out the steel, as well as there is direct tension. So to take care of the direct tension we need to provide another amount of tension of another amount of steel, and that can be find out by this one, and by sigma s is equal to 707.69 mm square per meter. Everything is per meter, and total steel becomes 2.143 mm square per meter, right? So if you find out the percentage of steel, it becomes 0.358 mm percentage, right? Percentage is 0.358, and this is also per meter. You just ignore per meter, just think it of the percentage of steel is 0.358. Now let's now find out what are the numbers of bars required. So numbers of bars is AST by the area of the steel, that is phi is equal to 12 mm we have considered. So we need the spacing becomes 18.9. So let us assume that the spacing is sorry, the numbers of bars is 19 bars, then the spacing becomes 55. So let us provide 12 mm bar at a spacing of 50 mm center to center. Okay, so this is what suppose we have provided. So if this is what we have provided, in that case what will be the actual provided steel? The provided steel will be this much, that is 2.37.10 per 3 mm square, and percentage of steel, that is what is actually provided, is 0.004. okay, and this is only AST by BD. You can find out what is the percentage, that will be around 0.4%. Then check for stress in steel. Also remember that the minimum percent of steel that you need to provide is 0.3%. This is the minimum. You cannot provide steel less than 0.4%. Now this is also you can find out in IS-3370 part 2. Now check for stress. So as we are doing as in case of in working stress method, so you can find out the modular ratio. Modular ratio is 280 by 3 sigma cbc, which is 10.98, and percentage of steel is 0.004. So you can find out the k factor. What is k factor, if you remember? So for a working stress model, we assume that for suppose a crack section, we assume a concrete at the top. Suppose for a crack section, so this is the section that we have. This is, if this is the depth, this is given by kd. This is concrete basically, and this is steel, and this is given by m into ast, right? And if you draw the stress distribution diagram, it becomes something like this. This is sigma cbc, and the depth is kd. K is a factor, and if this is the depth, effective depth, right? So what is the value of kd? You can find out using this equation. The depth of the neutral axis, the factor for depth of neutral axis can be find out by this equation, where this is the square root. Okay, 2 means square root of 2 pm. P is the actually the percent of steel, m is the modular ratio. So square root of 2 pm plus pm square minus pm, and that will give you 0.256. And what is J? J basically is a lever arm, the coefficient for lever arm. So J is given by 1 minus K by 3. Okay, so you can find out J, and JD is the lever arm. If you remember, you can go through the working stress method of design from the previous semester, and then you will understand. So you can find out the K value, K as 0.256 and J as 0.915. Now you can find out depth of the neutral axis. Depth of the neutral axis is JD is equal, or sorry, it is depth of the neutral axis is 0.153 meter, as well as the lever arm is 0.547 meter. Now the stress in steel due to bending. So what will be the stress in steel due to bending? That will be ms by ast into ZD, which in turns will give you 64.598 megapascal. Per meter, you just ignore it, because every calculation we are doing in per meter, so per meter is there. So this is the stress in steel because of bending. Okay, and what is the stress in steel due to direct tension? That is M by AST, which is 38.57. So if you add these two, it becomes 103.353, which is less than 130 MPa, which is what our permissible stress. So as this is less than 130 MPa, so it is satisfied, it is okay. Okay, so with this step we have just checked the the stress in steel. Okay, now there are some other checks also that we have to make. Now check for cracking. So cracking, if you remember the fifth semester structure RCC design, we have already calculated how to find out the moment stress due to crack. Then there we can find out, as we have first let us assume that it's an uncracked section. For uncracked section, we can just find out the I value. So I is equal to what? BD cube by 12 plus whatever steel is there, because a transform section we will have. So m into ast into the distance of the steel from the center, that is mst into x square. Okay, because this moment is bd cube by 12 is about the center, so this is the moment of inertia about the center, so it is mast d mmast into x square. So this is the moment of inertia about the center of the area. Okay, and the bending tension will be how much? So m by I into y. So y will be how much? So as this is the section, which the section is, okay, sorry, so we have the section, the as the section is the overall section is 650 we have assumed, so it will be 650 divided by 2. So it will be, the bending tension will be, this is 1.427, right? So this is because this is what the depth of the section is 650. This is the transform section. The overall depth is 650. So suppose this is the depth of the neutral axis. Neutral axis is the center, so this becomes 650 by 2, right? So y is 650 by 2, m by I into y. So that will give you the stress at this position, as there is tension is going to develop. So whatever tensile stress, this is 1.427, which is actually less than 1.8. We will see how we can find out. And what is the axial tension? Suppose as the wires as the steels are there is a tension in the steel, or suppose in the concrete itself. So what is the direct tension over the section, whole section? What is the direct tension? That means the tensile force into the area of the section. Area is B into H into the modular ratio into the area of the steel. That will give you 0.136. This is the direct tension over the concrete, and this is the bending tension over the steel. So let's compare these values from the table 1. So in the table 1 you can find out the permissible concrete stress calculations related to resistance to cracking. So in that case, for M25 concrete, we have for direct tension it is 1.3 MPa, and for tension due to bending it is 1.8 MPa. So here you can see we have obtained 1.247 for bending, which is less than 1.8, so it is okay. And for direct tension it should be less than 1.3, so it is we are getting 0.137, so this is okay. So this is the check for cracking is satisfied, so this is okay. Now that is a last one check, which is the check for interaction of water force. For this you can refer to the code IS. All these clauses are, you can refer to the IS-3370 part 2. So that is in this particular clause it says that on liquid draining structures this particular interaction formula should be satisfied, where sigma ct dash by sigma ct. What is sigma ct dash? Sigma ct dash is the calculated direct tension, and sigma ct is the direct tension, permissible tension of due to cracking as per table 1. Okay, and sigma cbt dash, this value is the calculated value of the bending tension, as well as sigma cbt is the permissible value as per table 1 due to bending. Okay, so let's see the values. So sigma ct dash is equal to 0.136 and sigma ct is equal to 1.1.3. Okay, and because of bending we have sigma cbt dash as 1.427 and sigma cbt is equal to 1.8. Okay, this is 427. That was what we have got. So if you do this, you can find out the ratio is 0.897, which is less than 1, which is quite satisfactory. So with this check we can say that for that particular moment of 190 and the tension of 90, we can have the wall of a thickness of 650, and which is found to be satisfying for all our conditions which are mentioned in IS-3375. So, sorry, IS-3370. So like with this we can design or conclude the design of our walls. So with this I would like to conclude today's class.